Godzilla vs. Kong has now been released in the US and also the rest of the world. So the first question that comes to mind is, where are all the other Titans? The movie was a really good one, but it was really a big disappointment that we didn't get to see Methuselah, Behemoth, Sylla and the others either in action or just walking about doing their thing when no one is looking. Many of them were supposedly heading off to Skull Island as per the news clippings in the end credit scenes of KOTM. And some of them were going to their own natural habitat to live peacefully for the rest of their lives. We were kinda hoping we would see at least one or two of them in Skull Island causing havoc and therefore getting into a fight with Kong. But as we know now, the place is uninhabitable. So let us see why the other Titans were not in Godzilla vs. Kong. Let's get to it. First off, let us start with the Queen of the Monsters, Titanus Warbat. Well, it was obvious why she wasn't in Godzilla vs. Kong after being disintegrated by Monster Zero's gravity beams. But as we saw in the news clippings, there was a Mothra egg that was discovered in southern China after King of the Monsters by Monarch. However, there was no reincarnation of Mothra in Godzilla vs. Kong, which was quite a bummer. Maybe because it might take many years for the egg to actually mature and the larva to hatch out from it. To me, that's the only good explanation for her absence. So next we have the fire demon Rodan. News clippings during the credit scenes reveal that Rodan had flown to and made a nest in a volcano north of Fiji, and his presence has attracted thousands of spectators. And since Rodan is another Titan that has the potential to defy or stick to his own terms unless physically defeated by his opponent, my best guess is that Rodan would have only been nesting and really had no interest in the fight between Godzilla and Kong. And since the Titans were not just a group of animals but also a very highly intelligent group of kaiju, then Rodan would just have waited and rested on top of a habitat, a volcano right back in a similar place as to how he started, and waited for one of them to finish the other. Then comes Methuselah. According to legend, Methuselah destroyed a village in Munich, way back in the Middle Ages, then settled down to sleep on its wreckage where a forest grew on him and he was assumed to be a mountain until Monarch discovered his true origins. Methuselah was created to show that the Titans can be a part of the natural world, to camouflage himself and hide in plain sight. To be honest, Methuselah did seem to look like a Titan that is very old and that naps a lot. To be fair, he actually had a mountain with trees growing on top of him. I think with Monster Zero out of the way and no alpha calls for him to destroy anything, he would have likely just gone back into hibernation. Then what about Behemoth? A benign protector with an almost symbiotic relationship with the environment. Behemoth's presence breathes life into the previous barren environments, as the massive amounts of its droppings become a nutrient-rich fertilizer that can regrow entire rainforests to help restore the balance of nature and strengthen Earth's immune system. This Titan was another one that was awakened by Monster Zero and obeyed his commands. Behemoth was supposed to be a Titan that was used as a war beast by an ancient civilization, but now he could have either gone stuck in an unstable Skull Island, or gone down to the Hollow Earth, or gone back to hibernation in Brazil. But either way, we didn't see him in Godzilla vs. Kong, although there were toys that teased his presence there. Liars. Now we come to Sylla, the giant armored cephalopod titan with black coloration and 6 very long, bony and lightly haired legs. It was another fan favorite and was not seen again in Godzilla vs. Kong. It was one of the major titans that arrived in Boston to bow down to Godzilla as the king of the monsters, and therefore was spared and not attacked by him. News reports later mentioned that Monarch has confirmed Sylla's Greek origins, and it can be seen that Sylla has become one of the most popular and famous titans to humanity. According to the reports, Sylla is having a positive impact on the environment by emitting enough liquid nitrogen to slow down the melting of the ice in the Antarctica and stabilizing the world's sea levels. Godzilla vs. Kong wouldn't have had any real motivations for Sylla to come out of Antarctica, meaning why would she just come out and either attack Kong or Godzilla or take sides? Obviously she would be killed in the process by either of the Alpha Titans, which means she is just hibernating back in Antarctica, or maybe she has taken the route back to the Hollow Earth in Antarctica. And then we have the last Titan that made an appearance in King of the Monsters, and this one is the Muto Queen, or Barb. To be honest, we weren't really expecting her to be seen in Godzilla vs. Kong, as their species was already a big part of Godzilla 2014 and the comics Godzilla Aftershock, and yes, seen again in KOTM. It would be kind of moot to show her and not the other ones here in Godzilla vs. Kong. The Muto Queen, also known as Bob, would have probably been killed by the G-Man as she is a natural enemy of his species. Looks like going to Boston was a bad trip for Bob. So what about Mokele Mbembe, Typhon, Bunyip, Abaddon, Sekhmet, Baphomet, the Leviathan, the Kraken? My guess is that they would have either gone back to hibernation, or the ones with flight capabilities, or swimming would have gone to Skull Island and made the island unstable and thus letting the perpetual storm to take over the entire island as well. So anyway, that's about it. The Titans were never seen in Godzilla vs. Kong. Maybe in a future video, or maybe in a future movie from the MonsterVerse, if it is continued. So anyway, do like for support, subscribe to be a part of the MindQ family, and smash that notification bell for regular updates on new video uploads right here on MindQ. Take care, fam.